That's incredible.
I am your father.
It was insane.
So, you think you're an 80s fan? Okay, Sergio Valenti, can you handle this? It's I Love the 80s, and this is 1980. The flicks, the fashions, the trends, the TV, the tunes.
Remember Blondie?
A totally awesome year that gave us these burning questions. Why did Doc get laid so much?
The Doc nailed everybody.
Could Han kick Luke's ass?
Luke was kind of a wuss.
Right. And do you believe in miracles? The answers to those questions, plus sweet, sweet air supply. And one smelly doll.
What's that?
Because you love the 80s.
80s.
Because you still wear your collar up. Admit it.
I did do that.
This is 1980.
I love the 80s. I love the 80s.
I always wanted to take a ride on the Love Boat.
I dreamed of one day becoming one of those stars who was in the porthole at the beginning in the introduction.
The Love Boat. I used to like that little song.
The Love Boat.
Promise is something for everyone.
Set a course for adventure, you're mine on a new romance.
Just take 2 aspirins and call me. Anytime you want.
I love the fact that a total nerd like Doc could get so much action.
You always got the impression, without them ever telling you, that the Doc nailed everybody.
Maybe it was the prescriptions. I have no clue, you know.
Doc probably infected all the residents of Puerto Vallarta with innumerable STDs because he was getting so much on that boat.
It was the most sexual show anybody had ever seen.
I mean, even Gopher was getting laid.
Don't tell me you want to cut in.
2 margaritas. Salud.
My man Isaac, the bartender with the afro and the smile.
Coming at you. I kind of had a crush on Lauren Tews.
Julie, your tour director.
She was really the only babe on board.
That's a very impressive young lady.
I like the captain.
I am not running after your wife.
Who is actually steering that ship?
I am trying to run this ship.
I mean, that's good stuff. That's just quality television. Thank you, Aaron Spelling.
We hope you enjoyed your cruise. It's love. Welcome aboard, it's love. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba.
Totally.
Caddyshack, the best movie of all time.
Caddyshack. I think that was a guy's movie.
No.
Nobody get around me. Watched a rough cut of Caddyshack, laughed my ass off, so I wrote like a couple of tunes for it.
Saw it 10 times, and it's on every tour bus.
Just watch it repeatedly.
On SportsCenter, everybody uses Caddyshack reference.
You can recite a line from it in any crowded room, and at least 5 people are going to take the next line and run with it.
Cinderella story, tears in his eyes, he steps up to the 18th hole.
What an incredible Cinderella story. This unknown comes out of nowhere.
The Carl character is just one of the all-time great characters in the history of movies. I mean, Bill Murray was great.
We got all of that.
It's in the hole, it's in the hole.
Come on, bark like a dog for me.
Bark like a dog.
Chevy Chase is brilliant.
I was born to love you.
I was born to lick your face.
I was born to rub you.
But you were born to rub me first.
I remember Chevy Chase being handsome and funny.
Finding the baby Ruth in the pool.
Falling now! Judy! The turd in the pool.
I want the entire pool scrubbed, sterilized, and disinfected.
That ended up being a chocolate bar.
Here it is.
Ah!
It's no big deal.
It's the ultimate golf movie.
When they were done, they had to know they had a classic.
So I got that going.
which is nice.
Here's your video.
Turning Japanese was most excellent song.
Turning Japanese, I think I'm turning Japanese, I really think so.
He gets me turning up and turning down, I'm turning in, I'm turning right, I'm turning Japanese, I think I'm turning Japanese, I really think so.
I don't think I still understand what that song is about, turning Japanese.
Wasn't that about, you know, servicing yourself?
Some people think it's about smoking dope and getting all squinty. It's masturbation.
If it is, I don't get it, you know, except for maybe in a Japanese movie when the guys are going, ah, ah.
I do think it was about wanking off. That's my personal opinion, and I'm going to stick with it.
I love 80.
The 80s idea of the rebel look was like the spiky hair and the mohawk, or punk rock look.
Hey!
I shaved my head and had spiky hair coming out.
And I also bleached my bang. I had like a long bang and put peroxide in it.
I like to be different and antisocial.
I don't want to look like the rest of the trendies, and if people don't like it, then they just don't have to look at me.
Preppy was a reaction to punk. You saw all these high school kids. They wanted to be tidy and prissy looking, as opposed to punk, which was a very deconstructed, very angry look.
Preppy was very cool in 1980. The little alligator and the polo shirts.
I have an alligator on my shirt! Get a tattoo of an alligator, and then I'll think you're someone to deal with.
I had, the button-down Izod pink shirt with the match pink tights and the navy blue skirt and the navy loafers. I always looked like somebody's chaperone.
I always thought I was like edgy. So I went to Lumber City and got a chain belt. Like wore a chain around my waist because I was trying to be punk.
Yeah, I think I even went with the collar up a couple times. I did do that. Oh, I can't believe that.
Hi, gnarly.
What's that? Welcome to the world of strawberry shortcake.
I was sitting in my room. I can't quite remember what I did with it, but it was in the toy box with all my Barbies.
Strawberry shortcake, wouldn't you know?
Strawberry Shortcake was the best-selling doll of 1980.
We're talking about your decade.
I think I had the Strawberry Shortcake sheets and bedspread or something.
Strawberry shortcake, wouldn't you know?
I had the Strawberry Shortcake suitcase that said going to Grandma's.
I remember the Strawberry Shortcake dolls, and I'm not ashamed to admit it, because there was a 7-year-old and a 4-year-old, these two girls who lived next door to me, and they had those things, and they stunk.
Why am I all alone?
The doll was scented? Okay.
She lives in a shortcake. Now that sounds like fun.
For Strawberry Shortcake as a role model to be living in a place filled with cake, cream, and strawberries, it was highly fattening because of all the carbs. I mean, Strawberry Shortcake was always the arch enemy of Dr. Atkins.
Lunchtime, Custard. I'm hungry.
We just drew a line of chalk in the sidewalk and said, look, Smurf people this side, Strawberry Shortcake people over there. And you Care Bear jerk-offs can stay off the sidewalk entirely.
Strawberry shortcake, and you will know. I love 80.
Coming up, prepare for reboarding.
Can you fly this plane?
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Get back on the bull at Gillies.
You didn't ride a mechanical bull in the 80s. You ain't you know what I mean?
And grab your pliers. It's time to put on those tight designer jeans.
Your gut's sucked in. You can't breathe the rest of the night, but your Sassoons are looking.
Next on I Love the 80s, 1980. But first, the makeout songs of 1980.
Ladies and gentlemen, I, Lionel Richie, give you the makeout songs of 1980.
Girl, you're every woman in the world to me.
Every Woman in the World by Air Supply.
Longer than there have been fishes in the ocean.
Longer by Dan Fogelberg.
Do that to me one more time.
And Do That to Me One More Time by Captain and Tennille. The makeout songs of 1980. Do you feel the love? I think you do.
Makeout songs of 80. I love the 80s.
what you...
Babes of 80.
I'm Brett Michaels, and I bring you the Babes of 1980. Princess Leia, Intergalactic Babe. Bo Derek, Cornrow Babe. Charlene Tilton, Younger Dallas Babe. Victoria Principal, Older Dallas Babe. Suzanne Summers, Regal Beagle Babe. And there you have it, the Babes of 1980, and I ought to know.
Babes of 80. I love the 80s.
Oh man, Brooke Shields and Blue Lagoon.
I really wanted to see Blue Lagoon because I heard Brooke Shields was naked in it.
Well, I wanted to see Brooke Shields' boobs.
Here are two kids totally naked running on a beach. I mean, this movie broke all those rules.
Naked, naked, naked. Brooke Shields, naked.
Why won't you talk to me?
I always imagine if my hair was long enough, I could just go around, with just jeans.
What was interesting for me, which I found out later, was I have a tremendous gay following.
He was so gorgeous. Anytime he's walking away from the camera in the loincloth is very memorable.
What are you looking at? We're playing with the mangoes and rubbing it all over each other playfully, and then we turn into this loving moment. Kiss me.
You're all sticky. He was like, oh, look at what I've got. She's like, oh, well, maybe I should take a look. And then they discover each other together. Yeah, I remember sitting there with my grandma thinking, oh my God. Grandma, it's only a movie. We don't do this in school.
The very number one thing is, did you do Brooke? Oh. If you go, no, I didn't. They go, yeah, you did. And then if you go, yeah, I did. No, you didn't. You can't win.
Who didn't want Brooke Shields at that point? I was 14. Brooke Shields was, my woman.
You want to know what comes between me and my Calvins? Nothing.
Nothing gets between me and my Calvins. Nothing.
The thought of that was pretty good.
Between me and my Calvins? Nothing. Nothing.
Up until about, I would say, 6 weeks ago, I didn't understand that was double entendre. I didn't understand that was somewhat risque.
Isn't that what it means? She wasn't wearing any underpants? Dirty and soiling her Jane.
Now I get it. Way to go, Brooke.
Yeah, right. I'd come between you and your Calvin. Just give me about 3 hours and a few beers.
Foxy lady. I love 80.
I wore all kinds of designer jeans. I had the Sassoon, the Gloria Vanderbilt with the little swan.
I remember Jordache jeans had to have Jordache jeans.
Jordache has the fit that's right.
The Jordache
Jordache look. Do you remember that?
I think my mom was wearing cheek.
That's chic.
Lee and Levi. Anything besides that was...
My favorite jeans during the 80s on women would have been Sassoons crumpled up on the floor next to the bed.
Oh my God, if you didn't have Sassoon on the back of your ass, you were nothing.
I didn't care about the brand of the jeans. I just wanted to take them off. Get this zip, snap, drop.
I think some of them were unflattering. Gloria Vanderbilt's kind of flattened the butt and made women look like they had really long crotches.
We wore our jeans very high. I mean, I could reach for my wallet like that. My pocket was practically right there. I look at those jeans. I don't know how I wore them.
I remember my sister Carol had a pair of Jordache jeans, and they were so tight that she would actually stand at the top of the stairs, and my brother and I would hold them out, and then she would jump into them.
I would lie on my back, and my sister would help me pull them up, and we get to a certain point where it was just, you had to have help, and that's when the coat hanger came in. Just loop it through and pull for dear life. And before you know it, your gut's sucked in, you can't breathe the rest of the night, but your Sassoons are looking.
Deja video.
I can't something but you. That was like one of the slow songs that you had to dance to. And at that age, it didn't matter who asked you to dance, you danced, even if Air Supply was playing.
It really hasn't really withstood the time that well.
In the dentist chair, I'm all out of love. That's the memory I got for that one, you know what I mean? Which isn't that pleasant.
Their sounds like their name. They're just air. Just give me supplies of air. I'm all out of love. Go on, have it. It's nice, right?
You're the right kind of sinner to release my inner fantasy.
Deborah Harry and Pat Benatar represented women in rock and roll. There's something really cool about a woman up there rocking.
You're a heartbreaker, dream maker.
Love taker, don't you mess around with me. You're a... Oh yeah, I used to pretend I was Pat Benatar.
You saw, this hot, tough chick rocking like, like, dare I say, like a guy would.
She's just this powerhouse.
How much do you weigh?
About 92.
I mean, you act like a 400-pound gorilla gonna tear the bars off the cage.
She really had a presence and a toughness about her, and her songs were like, hit me with your best shot. It's like, holy, she's got a set of balls,
Why don't you hit me with your best shot?
Just remember this little cat suit she was in. Anyway, made a big impression on me.
Fire
Pat Benatar's a beautiful woman, still is, but Deborah Harry was just it for me. I just thought Blondie was the hottest thing ever. Those succulent lips always seemed to be just shellacked with lip gloss. She had that real vampy Playboy bunny sex kitten thing cracking to a T.
Deborah Harry was definitely a punk. She's like a trendsetter.
I really think that Blondie had a lot of diversity there, and really in a sort of New York cool art rock way.
To me, she's the coolest and the hippest.
Love Debbie Harry. Everyone does.
I had a choice. I'd rather get down with Deborah Harry.
Pat Benatar was number one.
Debbie Harry was definitely my cup of tea.
There is no contest in my mind that Pat Benatar is hotter.
Blondie would be the one. Debbie Harry. There's no competition.
Oh, if I had to choose between Pat Benatar and Deborah Harry, I would say both. Let's have a little buffet of hot, slutty rock chicks from the 80s.
I love 80.
Coming up, a shocking revelation.
I am your father. You could have punched me in the face. My jaw was on. I was shocked.
A miraculous victory.
5 seconds left in the game. Do you believe in miracles? Yes!
And thus shot her around the world.
I shot JR. It was me. Apollonia shot JR.
Next on I Love the 80s, 1980.
Log on.
But first, log on to VH1.com for everything 80s. Artist info, photo galleries, CD purchases, and great 80s trivia games.
I love the 80s.
Hit it.
Hunks of 80.
Hi, I'm Tracy Elizabeth Lords, and I bring you the hunks of 1980. Will this one do? Richard Gere, Gigolo hunk. Nasty boys. Jim Palmer, Tighty Whitey hunk. John Travolta, Gillies hunk. Eric Estrada, Hog Riding hunk. And Greg Evigan, Big Rig hunk. There they are, the men of 1980. 100% USDA prime hunk.
Hunks of 80. I love the 80s.
Oh, Dallas was huge.
Na 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 na.
The music was big, it was bold. I loved that show, it was great.
The bribery and the scandal, it was just such a beautiful thing back then.
Who didn't watch Dallas? We still know who shot JR.
JR was a bastard.
He was a real son of a bitch. I remember it was like in the streets, they was like, who shot JR, man? That was big.
It was insane. I mean, it was everywhere.
How long do you think you can keep this scam up?
20, 30 years, something like that.
Just as long as you possibly can, right?
Sure.
It wasn't Sue Ellen.
I really don't think that I could have shot my husband.
I thought it was his wife. If not, it should have been, because he was awful to her.
She could have tried any time she wanted to. The gun was right there in the closet.
Who shot JR? I still don't know.
Kristen something or other.
You think you've got it all figured out.
I shot JR. It was me. Apollonia shot JR. Bad bastard.
Mary Crosby shot JR, to answer your question. Yes, Mary Crosby.
It was you who shot JR.
They're like, who shot JR? I'm like, who's gonna shoot the rest of them?
I love 80.
9 to 5, Dolly Parton, Dabney Coleman. I loved that movie.
Tumble out of bed and I stumble to the kitchen. Pour myself a cup of ambition and y'all.
The ladies that rise up and kidnap their boss because they can't take it anymore.
Spare me the women's lib crap.
I expect to be treated equally, with a little dignity and a little respect.
Working 9 to 5, what a way to make a living.
I think the movie 9 to 5 really brought forward the fact that if you make women angry, especially if you're their boss, they will kill you.
Look, I got a gun out there in my purse. And up to now, I've been forgiven and forgetting because of the way I was brought up. But I'll tell you one thing. If you ever say another word about me or make another indecent proposal, I'm going to get that gun of mine.
And I'll turn you from a rooster to a hen with one shot. Dolly Parton. Fantastic.
Don't think I can't do it.
What I liked most about Dolly Parton's character was her wit, her humor, her adorable boobies.
When you think of Dolly Parton, it takes you back to that moment Johnny Carson said that Dolly Parton.
I would give about a year's pay to peek under there.
There's not a man alive who looks at Dolly Parton and isn't thinking that same thing.
I mean, that's the fun thing about Dolly Parton is you need a hook in this business. And Dolly, she wasn't going to be subtle about it. She was like, how you doing? I have huge tits.
Dolly Parton was always overshadowed by her breasts.
You know, you think she's like gonna be a bad actress because of those big boobs, and she just rocks.
Red.
In 1980, there was a movie that came out called Urban Cowboy. Somehow, even though the movie didn't take off, the whole cowboy hat and boots thing did.
The urban cowboy look is very cool.
The cowboy boots and the jeans.
I thought it was very sexy.
Jackets and hats were interesting.
I've always liked guys that wear jeans and cowboy boots.
For a few years, I wore that.
All of a sudden, these city people see this movie and they decide, oh, maybe we should wear cowboy boots because they're kind of cute.
Real cowboy?
Most of these guys, the only cows they see are at Arby's.
Well, it depends on what you think a real cowboy is.
It was John Travolta, Deborah Winger, and there was the scene where she rides the bull very seductively.
Mechanical bull, I mean, that is such an 80s artifact, you know, which is, if you didn't ride a mechanical bull in the 80s, you ain't you know what I mean?
I'll turn it up.
I mean, there was mechanical bulls in like every city after that movie. At your local Red Onion, there was a mechanical bull, and your dad was riding it.
My room was covered with pictures of John Travolta.
I was like, how can I get with John Travolta?
John Travolta's ass in Urban Cowboy is, there should be a shrine built to it.
When I was a little younger, I thought, oh my God, these two are so in love.
You won't get married.
And when you watch it as an adult, it's like, oh, they're just kind of rednecks trying to, get together on a Friday night.
Fine, forget it.
Fine, forget it.
Deja video. Another one bites the dust.
Another One Bites the Dust is just a very terrific, very simple song with some cool effects.
Another one bites the dust. And another one gone. And another one gone. Another one bites the dust.
It was kind of the first time I remember hearing, such a funky, cool beat mixed in with the rock.
How do you think I'm gonna get along with that too when you're gone?
They went out as a band with the attitude of we will have no rules, we will not stick to a formula, we are masters of our own destiny.
If you talk about somebody like Freddie Mercury, you're talking about one of the greatest vocalists who ever walked the planet Earth.
And Another One Bites the Dust, there's a piece at the end where he kind of starts scatting, where it kind of the music goes away and he goes, hey, hey, another one bites the dust, hey, 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 another one bites the dust. I think one of the purest, greatest moments in pop music.
I love 80.
Gambling can take hold of a man. You gotta be able to walk away from it.
You gotta know when to hold them.
Know when to fold them, yeah. Know when to walk away.
know when to run.
The Gambler was a real hot song.
I quote The Gambler even when, like, I'm playing blackjack.
Kenny Rogers was Plato to my dad. It was like philosophy to him. Like, there's time enough for counting when the dealing's done. And my dad look over driving the car and just nod like, yeah, huh? Okay, Dad, whatever. My dad thought it was one of the deepest songs ever done.
I now have a gambling avocation, let's say, because of Kenny Rogers.
How much money you got?
About $300.
This won't take long.
Kenny Rogers was a huge pop star.
Keeping the beard all these years, excellent choice.
He kept that beard tight and right, y'all.
Well, sit down, kids, and I'll tell you this whole story.
I do like his chicken. It needs salt sometimes, but...
Gambler chicken, coward chicken, lady.
Lady, you come into my life and made me whole. You're my lady.
He just had a super career at the beginning of the 80s. He was it.
Totally.
Xanadu.
Xanadu was a movie with Olivia Newton-John.
In Xanadu, right? Had to believe we are magic. What was she? That was a good song.
And I just remember really liking the song I'm Alive.
I'm alive.
I'm alive.
They all had this sort of glow, as if they had swallowed vast amounts of barium and were just kind of radioactively glowing.
I just remember this like angelic, glowing, roller skating Australian woman.
Olivia Newton-John, wasn't she like made of light or something, and she skates?
Gene Kelly was like a roller skating Pied Piper. It was like this cult leader leading all these freaks in a giant adult skate.
One of the best things about it was the bad group versus the good group in the Xanadu roller skating scene. That there was a rock group singing a naughty song, and there was kind of a big bandy, jazzy band singing the other song, and they were kind of fighting it out. I remember sitting there and going, I like the evil song better.
I have no idea what that movie was about.
I remember watching it and having that kind of, what's that?
It was a completely insane movie. You had to be on drugs to understand anything about it.
Give me short shorts, give me roller skates, give me Xanadu. I'm a happy man.
I love 80.
Coming up, John Davidson's hair. Now that's incredible.
John Davidson was a pretty boy, there's no question about it.
That's incredible. A strange new phenomenon called rap.
And we could not believe that the radio station was playing this record.
And the important questions raised by airplay.
You ever seen a grown man naked?
Next on I Love the 80s, 1980. But first, this public service announcement.
Did you know that there are at least 23 million American adults who can't read a want ad?
Or a book. That's why we have RIF.
RIF is reading is fundamental. Give a kid a book and you'll give a kid a break. Join the RIF program in your community.
I love the 80s.
Hello, Weird Al Yankovic here. Let's take a look at how the world has changed since 1980. The Sony Walkman with cassette. Then $169, now $19.95. Actor Rossi Harris. Then Joey, the young boy in Airplane, now the young guy in Hootie's Sad Caper video. The Big Gulp. Then 32 ounces, now a robust 64 ounces. Does anybody really want to drink that much soda?
And now 80. I love the 80s.
I loved Airplane.
You didn't even get it the first time you saw it.
A hospital? What is it?
It's a big building with patients, but that's not important right now.
Seeing Hare Krishna's getting beat up, that was hilarious.
I dig silly movies.
It's like I picked the wrong week to quit drinking. It's like I picked the wrong week to quit amphetamines. It's like I picked the wrong week to quit
Sniffing glue. He was upside down, right?
Can you fly this plane?
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
I loved Kareem in that movie. I thought it was great.
Listen, kid. Tell your old man to drag Walton and Lanier up and down the court for 48 minutes.
You ever seen a grown man naked?
I remember one airplane, the co-pilot ended up being an inflatable doll.
Julie Haggerty giving fellatio to the automatic pilot, Otto, while his head's going...
Priceless.
I guess my favorite character in Airplane was Johnny.
Johnny, what can you make out of this?
This? Well, I could make a cap, or a brooch, or pterodactyl.
We just do weird, kind of oblique one-liners as he fell through the frame.
And Leon's getting larger.
Just, they'll never make it. They're gonna die.
There's a sale at Penny's.
Oh, stewardess.
Barbara Billingsley, when she was talking jive.
Just hang loose, blood. She's gonna catch up on the rebound on the med side.
She smacked down those two big black guys. It was hilarious.
My mama raised no dummies. Got me some slack, Jack.
Way like midgets and farts will always be funny. Airplane will always be funny.
We have clearance, Clarence.
Roger, Roger. What's our vector, Victor?
I love 80.
Here's Wonder Mike, Hank, and Master G, the Sugar Hill Gang.
The first time I heard Rapper's Delight, I was in Harlem at my friend's house, and we could not believe that the radio station was playing this record.
Rapper's Delight was like the first rap record I heard that really kind of got me motivated.
I remember hearing that and, literally being, floored.
It took the whole country by storm.
I said a hip hop, the hip it to the hip hop, you don't stop the rocket to the bang bang boogie. Say up jump the boogie to the rhythm of the boogie to beat.
Yeah, I know every word. I mean, I don't think anybody who was around in that year doesn't know every single word to that song.
You see, I am Wonder Mike, and I'd like to say hello to the black, to the white, the red, and the brown, the purple, and yellow.
So far you've heard my voice, but I brought two friends along. And next on the mic is my man Hank. Come on, Hank, sing that song. Check it out.
What I really liked about it is there was a dynamic happening in their voices.
Each one of them had a different style. So each one of them captured a certain feeling. Like me, I was a big bag Hank guy.
I was Wonder Mike. That was my guy.
Have you ever went over a friend's house to eat and the food just ain't no good?
The macaroni soggy and the peas are mushed and the chicken tastes like wood.
When he's talking about going over to his friend's house to eat and the food just ain't no good, I mean, to me that was like lyrical poetry. I'm 11, I'm like, you hear about the macaroni soggy? I'm like, yeah, that's my house.
So you bust out the door while it's still closed, still sick from the food you ate.
And you rush to the store with quick relief from a bottle of KO Pectin.
Deja video.
Got this in pocket.
Pass and Pocket, great video. You got, Chrissy Hine from Ohio. Really at her all-time sexiest, though, in that video.
That, to me, is what a chick rock star should be. I love that part where she's singing in the mirror, and she goes, I'm gonna use my style, and she's like, kind of fixing herself up. She's a waitress in a restaurant, and I think she's serving the guy that she really has the hots for, so she's kind of strutting her stuff while she's pouring the coffee and trying to get his attention.
I remember Pete Farndon going, special, and James Honeywell, special. That was really cool.
I gotta have some of your attention.
As the guy's bail, she's kind of look down the street, and she's kind of pounding her lips. It's kind of a poignant moment in the song. It kind of works with the end. What a great song.
Wicked. Incredible football against a built-in computer.
Oh, right on. This is the best.
You play offense.
My God.
The amazing computer plays defense.
That's so classic football. Hello, I'm a girl. We didn't care.
I had this. You kidding me? This is the greatest.
You can cut, run, and be tackled.
Oh, I remember this game.
And that's how classic football surprisingly stands the test of time. You can take Sonic the Hedgehog, shove him up your ass.
Who left it? I think I kicked something.
And as you can tell, the sound effects are tremendous.
It's just basically a little blip that is brighter than the other little blips, and I'm the brightest little blip in the bunch.
And if you can get the red dot across it twice, then you get a touchdown. And like me, I'm not a sporty guy, but even I could figure it out and make it happen.
Play it smart, and you can go all the way.
Go, baby! To the thumb.
Incredible. Touchdown. Get it now.
I love 80.
Eruzione! Mike Eruzione!
My biggest sports memory of all time is the 1980 U.S. hockey team at Lake Placid.
28 seconds. The crowd going insane.
When U.S. played Russia, it was more symbolic, I think, of the political climate at the time, not just, two teams trying to get a puck in a net.
We were glued to the TV set. Yes, it was like it was yesterday. We were all so excited.
The countdown going on right now. Morrow up to Schultz. 5 seconds left in the game. Do you believe in miracles? Yes!
I believe in miracles, sure. Certainly after 1980.
Oh, I remember it like it was yesterday. I cried. When we beat the Russians, I cried.
No words necessary, just pictures.
The one thing I just remember feeling was I was looking at a bunch of guys who had just done the impossible. I mean, they had really done something that on paper was impossible.
The funny thing a lot of people don't remember is that was not the gold medal game. They still had to play a team from Finland that was almost as good as the Soviets.
5 seconds to the gold medal. 4 to the gold medal. This impossible dream comes true.
At the end of the game, I'm going to get tears right now, but when Jim Craig had the flag and he had the flag wrapped around him, he's looking around for his dad, and you can see him going, Dad, Dad. That was a gnarly, poignant moment in U.S. sports history. And then just when you thought there was nothing else they could possibly do to blow you away, Illusione's up on the platform, okay? He's got the gold medal, and all the team's cheering, and he just goes like this, you know what I mean? And the whole team gets up on the platform, and they're all standing on their tippy toes at the end, to barely fit on, and you saw all these number ones just go up like that, and then that was the last moment you saw at the Olympics, and that was the last image you had, and they did it.
I love 80.
Coming up, sure, you're the leader of an evil empire, but what's up with your head?
When they took off Darth Vader's helmet and he looked like Curly from the Three Stooges, I think that was a letdown for every little kid on the planet.
Next on I Love the 80s, 1980. But first, Mr. and Ms. 1980.
Hey, it's the Dice Man with the moment you've all been waiting for. Time to name Mr. and Ms. 1980. Oh, I'm so excited. He was a B actor who somehow got elected president. Oops. She was a babe who somehow got her ass into those cut-off jeans every week. That's right, you guessed it. Or maybe you didn't. Ronald Reagan and Daisy Duke. Mr. and Ms. 1980.
Mr. and Mrs. 80. I love the 80.
I'm Soleil Moonfry. Here's a look at some of 1980's very special births. Christina Aguilera, Post-it Notes, Ethnic Barbies, and Macaulay Culkin. There it is, the miracle of life, 80s style.
Born in 80. I love the 80s.
That's incredible. Fantastic. The birth of the reality shows.
I love the opening of That's Incredible, how they were standing in these sort of display window type things.
Tonight, a lot more that's incredible.
I thought, if anything, the title That's Incredible was an understatement of how incredible the things on That's Incredible were. I remember the yogi dude, getting himself into a little box. The guy was 7'5". He put himself inside the box no bigger than the space between my fingers.
That's incredible!
I remember a dude catching a bullet with his teeth.
That's incredible!
I totally remember the water skiing squirrel.
Twiggy, the water skiing squirrel.
Can't get squirrels with that athletic ability these days because they demand a lot of money.
That's stupid.
Fran Tarkenton, John Davidson, and of course, Kathy Lee Crosby, who was hot.
I'm Kathy Lee Crosby.
Kathy Lee Crosby was sexy. She had that sort of untamed lioness hair. I wanted to get incredible with her.
That's incredible.
I remember John Davidson with the helmet hair.
That's incredible.
John Davidson was a pretty boy, there's no question about it.
I always thought that John Davidson and Fran Tarkenton were real grabby hands with Kathy Lee Crosby.
That's incredible!
I don't know who's the executive that put all three of them together, but it worked.
What they did was just incredible.
Totally.
Empire Strikes Back, probably one of the best movies ever made.
Second in the Star Wars trilogy, some say the best.
I thought it had the best story, and it was a great, great, great movie.
I liked it because you got a chance to see what Darth Vader's bald, wispy head looked like for 2 seconds.
Scared the hell out of me. Whenever I would see it when I was a kid and Darth Vader would come out, it would scare the hell out of me.
When they took off Darth Vader's helmet and he looked like Curly from the Three Stooges, that was a letdown for every little kid on the planet.
I so wanted to be Han Solo. It was disgusting. But it was impossible in Kentucky to find those European cut vests.
I love you.
Han was just cool.
I know.
Oh, there is no question in my mind that Han Solo was far sexier than Luke.
Yeah, but Luke had the Force.
Feel the Force around you.
I want the Force, man.
Excuse me, Han Solo the badass. Luke, just a kid. Just a wet behind the ears kid.
And he could have kicked Luke's ass, because when you look back at it, Luke was kind of a wuss.
Welcome, I'm Lando Calrissian. I'm the administrator of this facility.
Bringing Lando Calrissian in the form of Billy D. Williams, which is who, Lover Man, Colt 45, dude.
Body language tells you a lot about what a person's thinking.
Lando, he still looks like the malt liquor guy to me. He just looks like the malt liquor guy with a spacesuit on.
Something like that. And who might you be?
Leia. I think guys thought she was so hot because she had those donuts on her ears.
Welcome, Leia.
I was really into Princess Leia because she had my name. You know what I mean? But I didn't know if I could wear my hair like that because it was a little weird.
No, I thought Yoda was cool. I thought he was a cool Jedi Master.
Jedi Master?
I liked, that he could do this, and things would rise up. The X-Wing fighter would rise up. I've tried to do this. Nothing much raises up.
I am your father.
When Darth says, "I'm your father, Luke," you could have punched me in the face. My jaw was on. I was shocked.
Join me, and together we can rule the galaxy as father and son.
I was ready for the next one. Because if that was where we were going with that one, wow, I gotta see where we're going with the next one. What's gonna happen next?
I love 80.
What's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. Ah, yes, ain't that fresh? Everybody wants to get down like that. Sounds good. Looks good. Feels good too. Ah, that's right. Hey, you, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. Uh-huh, that's right.